So, you've got a brand new winch that you stuck on your truck. You've installed it, it looks pretty. What do you do next? We're about to show you, so stick around.
Let's get started. I'm Hunter with Fox Overland.
My name's Rich with Fox Overland.
For you. The Shanty Chef Trophy. We're overlanding.
We are Swamp Fox Overland and Outdoor.
We've just installed an Openroad Panther 3S winch on the front of my RE, right? So on the Jeep, we've got a 12,000 pound winch, and it is wonderful. Let me tell you how much I love this winch. But one egregious error that everyone makes is they forget to set it up. Yeah, the line is spooled up onto the winch, and that's great, but from the factory, there's often times where they've left a little bit of slack in there, and that is really, really terrible for a winch, especially if you get into a situation where you're pushing it to its limit and such, right? So the synthetic line is on the drum of the winch, but if it's loose, what happens is this line ends up getting into some of the crevices that are made by the spacing in the synthetic rope or even the steel rope. And guess what? It binds, it creates resistance, it gets stuck. You're gonna create a lot of issues for yourself if you don't do this one step properly. Swamp Fox Overland and Outdoor is going to take the moment to show you how to properly set up a winch once you've set it up on your truck. So one of the first things that you need to do when you set up a winch, right, is you've got to now unspool all of the line and get it completely empty to the very last line remaining on your synthetic line, on the drum. So to start this process, safety first. What's not protected in all of this? Make sure you have a set of gloves. You're going to need your winch remote. And you're going to need a recovery kit. Very, very easy to do this. You just take the clutch release and you switch it over to Freespool. And now we can pull this out here.
Don't something seem wrong right here?
That worked well. That's Freespool. So first thing you got to do is unspool the line. So we're going to flip this down to Freespool so we could just tow the line out.
And that worked mo better.
We gotta go a long way. It's 85 feet. So something that's really important to remember is that most lines will have a warning in red that says, okay, we're almost out of line. Don't go past this warning, because what creates the strength of the winch is that first wrap of line, and you don't want to get yourself into a situation where you accidentally damage the rope. So we're going to put this a little bit further back in. And then one error that we made, we didn't find a spot that would make it all the way to the tree. Hey, Craig! He's not at the tree yet, so we're going to move the truck up. So right now, I'm taking my recovery gear, I'm walking up the hill to Craig, and we're in Florida, so it's hot. But this is something that is very, very important because we don't like damaging nature. A tree. So in your recovery kit, something that is very, very important to carry is something that we call a tree saver. It's like a tow strap, but it's just meant to wrap around the tree so that when you hook the line up, the toe of the line is not going to damage the good tree that we try so hard to preserve, right? So this one is made by Rhino USA. We're going to throw it around the tree, and then we're going to hook our winch line to it. And because I have short arms, This is going to go around the tree to Craig. Then make sure that it's flat around the tree, and now you have a spot where you can connect your hooks. And so now that's safe and secure, and we now have a spot to winch from. But I have one more step for us Jeep owners, right? How much power does your Jeep take to run a winch? It's a winch. It's a lot, right? So it's really, really important that you do something cool. And I'm going to include the JL Tazer Mini by Z Automotive to go into winch mode. The next step in this process is to turn on winch mode using the JL Tazer Mini by Z Automotive. What winch mode does is it raises the RPMs because winching is power intensive, so it increases the power output from your alternator and then also prevents the car from dying in the middle of a power intensive run. Okay, so in order to do this, your steering wheel settings, you'll hit the left button and then the cruise control resume button, and then watch this. Winch mode on. And now you'll see the RPMs start to raise. I have mine set at 2,000. So there we go. And so the next step, we're gonna make the truck head to the tree. Winch time! So if you have a second person, use him. I've got Craig in the truck because the truck is going to be in neutral. And so what he's going to do is he's essentially going to make sure that this thing stays straight. Because when you're outside the vehicle, you can't do it. So this will help me make sure that I can focus on the line going where it's supposed to on the spool. And we're moving!
Well, don't that seem to work pretty good?
So something that I was directing Craig on doing was to turn the wheel left and right on command, because what that does is it helps me to spool the line evenly. This is why it helps to have a second person involved, because then you can direct the spool of the line so that it goes real tight and make sure that we're good to go. We don't want any slack on here, but also we don't want any lopsided line on your drum. And now that we're almost here, we're gonna put some slack in the line, undo the strap, and then we're gonna bring it in by hand. Openroad had this really cool protector on it. And so this keeps this part of the line, keeps it from getting frayed. Tight. We always want to make sure that when we finally got everything up on the line, the clutch is engaged so that it holds where it's at instead of accidentally releasing. And then clean up your mess. Don't leave stuff out. Also, this stuff is expensive. Make sure you put it up, put it to where you can get to it the next time. Everything back in your sack, we're pretty much done. Now we've got our winch line tight, right? Don't forget a couple things. Make sure that you cut off your winch remote so that it doesn't operate when you don't expect it to, and put that in a safe place. That's not the safe place. Also, just know that this was very eye-opening. I've spooled up a lot of different winches, but I kind of went back through this as we were going, and I was like, there was a lot of slack in that line. So it just reaffirmed why you should go out, unspool your line, retighten it, make it neat so that it does exactly what you expect it to do when you intend to do it. Also, not hard at all, but easier with a friend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll always say safety first, but having a winch on a truck is absolutely paramount for those moments where you just didn't expect yourself to get into some trouble, or if someone else gets in trouble, you could be the hero. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you. We are Swamp Fox Overland and Outdoor. Take care.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. If you like what we're doing out here, please be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell to be reminded that we're out here. And, as always, we are Swamp Fox Overland and Outdoor. Until next time.